Hello everybody, it's Bobby Nugget here,
Yo. And Rosie.
and welcome to our episode 4 or 5 of the podcast. I just wanted to say really quickly, I am sorry about last week.
Yeah, I was sick.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's my fault.
yeah, so we posted a video 2 weeks ago, but after we posted it, we found out that the audio did not work. And that was really upsetting because I feel like that was a really good podcast. It was about injuries, and now we can't do that episode because we just basically sit here and talk to each other for like 10 to 12 minutes, and you guys like it for some reason.
Yeah.
And so now because we both know all these things, we can't do it again.
Yeah, but we spilled so much gossip about Kyle.
I know, right? It was terrible. But anyway, we're on this episode now. I'm just gonna call it episode 5. Welcome, and today we will be doing elementary school stories. Rosie, stop messing with the microphone.
It's not
It
right.
doesn't matter.
Bite me. Okay.
I'm creating ASMR, Rosie.
I know. That's why it's being moved.
Okay. Now, do you have any stories from elementary school?
I have a lot, but I'm not sure where to start. Okay, are we talking about just stories in general from elementary school?
Yeah, I think first you should start from what elementary schools you went to.
Okay, so I feel like I probably explained this in another podcast, but my dad's in the Army, so I've been to multiple, I don't remember the names of the ones I went to, because I went to, I think, 4 different preschools. Yeah, do not remember the name of the preschools. That was a long time ago. So here, I went to kindergarten and first grade at Pickering Elementary School. I went to second and third at Anacoco Elementary School. Yeah, weird name. So here, I went to 4th at Thayer. I went to 5th at Freedom. I went to 6th back at Anacoco Elementary School. Are we counting middle school in this or just?
Just elementary schools.
Okay, so I went to 7. Yeah, I went to 7. Aiden, what are you doing?
I'm taking pictures. I'm gonna use some nice pictures today for the thumbnail.
It better not be a picture of me making a gross face. Okay.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I went to Edison Elementary School here in Walla Walla.
Lame.
For the entirety, kindergarten to 5th grade. She's eating chips. Yeah. Now she's the one making ASMR. Anyway. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun through my elementary school years. In like kindergarten, I had 2 friends, and we were like the trio, okay? Like, we would, because they have a specific playground for kindergartners at Edison. And that one's like gated off.
Ooh,
it's
fancy.
Like locked, and you're not supposed to be able to get out. But because my friend was really tall, they could reach up, stick their arm on the outside of the gate, and unlock it. And so we could get out, and multiple times we would go over to the like big kids playground, but we didn't want to get in trouble, so we'd like sneak over there, and we'd just like hide in the bushes and like look at everybody. We're like, whoa, that's so cool. Like, they get to climb on stuff and do all this. But you get to sit over in the sand. It was, yeah, so then we would like go back and sit there and lock the gate again. Yeah,
Wow.
It was a lot of fun.
Aiden was a rebel.
I really was.
My hands are disgusting.
Yeah, and then after that, both of them left me after 1st grade. I felt very sad. It was Bodie and Violet.
Bodie and Violet, if you're listening to this, what the heck, dude?
I mean, Bodie was pretty cool. I don't know about Violet.
Boo, Violet.
And then I met my best friend, Brooke, and my other friend, Gavin, who, Gavin, if you're hearing this, please message me. I haven't seen you since like halfway through 5th grade, and we were like best friends. Please.
Why would he be watching this?
I don't know. I think he moved to Spokane.
So sad.
It's either Spokane or Tacoma.
Where's
Yeah.
Tacoma?
Huh? Oh, it's on the other side of the state.
Oh.
Yeah. So I never saw him again. But we met there and we started playing games. We would play games like he made one called Darkness, where we would run around and pretend that like darkness monsters were fighting us.
I did a game just like that.
And we played it all the way from 1st grade all the way to 5th grade.
I thought okay.
It
Sorry,
was great,
okay.
yeah. No, and like the game evolved and got like way more complicated with like politics and all this craziness.
Okay, I thought I was the only one who had like a friend. Okay, so my friend Mary and I, shout out to Mary. Hopefully you're more normal. Sorry, I love you. Yeah. So back in like 2nd grade, I think we did this game called Hollow. And I'm trying to remember the exact idea, but basically the idea was that there were monsters, and then we tried to, I think it was like hollow trees they would drag you through. And if they got you, they would eat you.
Oh, okay.
And it was this very intense game that I remember really liking to play in 2nd and 3rd grade. But I moved after 3rd grade. So since I was gone, she brought new people into this. I still felt betrayed. And when I came back in 6th grade, it was super duper complicated. And I was like, I don't know what's going on anymore. So, see you.
Yeah, no, our game was pretty simple in 1st grade. It was just, us, and we would run around the field at Edison and just like, jump up in the air, do kicks, like be really cool, like fight bad guys. And then in 2nd grade, we met our friend Haley. She really made the game really move on to having more of a story. And so we developed a story where we would have a problem where we would restart the game every day. So we never got very far in this story. The initial story was, it was us, and then for a while, I think at some point our friend Kalia joined us that year. And we would run around, and we were just regular kids, and then we suddenly got powers, and we got to choose what our powers were each day. It was a lot of fun. And then we had to the darkness would try and defeat us, and we defeated them initially, and then we met the king and queen of lightness, and they would tell us that we were the chosen ones, and we had to go fight the darkness. Yeah,
wow.
It was crazy.
You should write a book. This is intense.
I tried to in 1st grade because my 1st grade teacher was so amazing, and she gave us all day to just sit there and write.
That's so sweet.
I tried to, but I did terrible.
You know what, Aiden? You're in 9th grade now.
I should really try again. Yeah. But yeah, it was just us 4 or 5 running around playing this game for years. I think around 3rd or 4th grade we started to switch to other things, we would play Warrior Cats because we were those kids.
Oh, same.
And it was really a struggle for me because they only had one of each copy in the Edison library, so only one of us could read it at a time, and I was the last one to get it of our friend group.
Oh no.
So yeah, I was very confused on everything that was happening while we were playing this, but I just went along with it.
Yeah, you must have had so many spoilers.
Oh, I did. I thought that they were just coming up with these things off the top of their heads. And then when I got into the books, I would get to these events, and I was like, "We played that. We did that. I did that." It was a lot of fun to see the way that I would have reacted in those situations, and my friends set up for me. I remember also pretty vividly. All of my friends went to go see The Hunger Games when it first came out without me.
I still haven't seen that.
It's a pretty good movie. I read the book. I really liked the first one. That was actually the first book that I cried to.
Wow.
Yeah, and the second one I didn't like as much, and I never ended up finishing it. So, yeah.
I just got mad during them, and I would throw them at the wall.
Yeah. So, they watched the movie without me, and then they wanted to play it at recess. And because I hadn't seen it yet, I didn't know what was happening. And because I was the only guy besides Gavin in our friend group, and he wanted to play the girls as well, they left me with PETA, and I had no idea who this was.
Oh, no.
So I would run around, doing things. They're like, "No, that's not what PETA would do." I'm like, "Well, I have no idea what PETA would do."
Oh my gosh. No, I think, I'm trying to think of other things I did with my friend group. I'm mostly thinking of, okay, it's not necessarily with the friend group, but I remember it being an activity that we all bonded over. So why did I say bonded? So weird. When I was in Louisiana, there was this pretty strict rule in our K through 12, which only had 600 students, by the way. It was a K through 12, and there was only 600 students. Oh, that was sad. Yeah. So basically, what we did is, if you didn't turn your homework, that surprised me for whatever reason. You were just having your pre-kids. Okay, so if you didn't turn in your homework, like, okay, you're not even 2 days late. If you don't turn your homework immediately in the next day, and also, okay, so if you do bad on your multiplication, what you had to do is you had to write the multiplication problem 5 times on the back of the sheet, and then you had to get it signed by your parents. And then you had to bring it back the next day, and if you didn't, all 3 recesses that day, is that the custodian? Oh my god, I'm scared.
I hope he doesn't come in.
No, so
Just continue with your story.
okay, all 3 recesses that day, there was, okay, so there's the playground, and then there was like, you know, a building, and it was brick, and you had to go stand on the brick wall. Just stand there in the hot sun, and there were so many ants, so you'd be standing there in the dirt, and the ants would just like be everywhere. And in Louisiana, all ants are fire ants. So you'd come home, and there would be like bites all over. Yeah, it was painful. I swear I'm going some of this. I'm just getting distracted. So anyways, I was very forgetful when I was younger. Aiden, that's my pen.
Yes.
Okay, so I was very forgetful when I was younger, so I never remembered my homework ever. And so I spent a lot of time standing on the brick wall. And basically what kids would do is if the teacher wasn't looking, they'd sit down instead of standing up because you weren't allowed to sit down. And they would like pull weeds out of the ground, and they would like make flower crowns out of the weeds. And I'm not talking like pretty flower weeds, no, these were the ugly grass weeds.
Yeah.
And we bonded over trying to make weed crowns whenever a teacher wasn't looking.
Weed crowns. Okay.
I didn't do it much though, because I was scared of the teachers. I'm still scared of teachers. Said Andrew.
I remember very vividly in 2nd grade, I had a teacher. He was very tall, and his name was Mr. T. He was great, but I was, you know, that kid where I dropped my pencil once in class. And I didn't want to leave my seat because we weren't supposed to like get out of our seats. And I didn't think, you know, I'm just gonna like, you know, just kind of lean out of my seat, you know, lean over and grab it. No, I specifically remember thinking to myself, I am going to be a ninja and pick this up. So I like do like some cool ninja moves. I like lean back in my chair. I like go upside down. I grab my pencil, and Mr. T, he looks over and he sees my legs in the air, and he's like, Aiden, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I was picking up my pencil, and he saw that I was not getting up, and he's like, Aiden, do you need help? Are you stuck? I'm like, yeah, I'm stuck. So he like pulls me out of the chair, and he puts me back in the seat, and he's like, Aiden, what were you doing? I'm like, I was being a ninja.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm surprised that any of my teachers put up with my shenanigans.
Wow, I was terrified of teachers and authority in elementary school, probably because Louisiana was very strict. But so I never like did shenanigans if the teacher was looking. But my one super rebellious move that I was so proud of myself for at the time for being brave enough to be rebellious is. So, also Louisiana, 2nd and 3rd grade, this went on. It was for an extended period of time in recess. The students noticed there was kind of, so the playground in the area was really big because there was an actual playground, and then a while away there was like a tree, and then all of that was fenced in. And somewhere between the area of the playground and the tree, and the teachers were like pretty far off, so they couldn't see you very well if you went this far. There was like a little dip in the ground where I went from, you know, it was kind of like a hill down. And students kind of noticed there was like a little hole in the dirt there, but the dirt was very hard. Like even when it rained, the dirt was still like clay and stuff.
Oh yeah.
The students decided they were going to dig a hole just for the heck of it. So over the course of 2nd and 3rd grade, I was like, heck yeah, I'm helping with this. I think we got maybe 1.5 feet deep. And this was with a lot of work, with like multiple students chipping in, and then other students like walking around to make us seem less suspicious. And like this was a very complicated scheme over a hole and trying to avoid teachers. But halfway through 3rd grade, we got found out, and the teachers filled the hole back up.
Oh no.
And we got banned from that area, and all of us were very, very upset.
Oh, it's terrible being caught. Yeah. I didn't do many bad things when I was in elementary school. Actually, the one time, this is also with Mr. T, the one time I ever cheated on, like, anything, it was a spelling test because I'm terrible at spelling and I knew it, and I tried studying and I just couldn't get it, and it was making my grades go down, and I felt terrible about this. So I was like, you know what? I'll just take the sheet with me and I'll copy it. That clearly did not work out well because he was walking around and he saw that I was like way ahead of the words, because he would like walk around, say the word, and you know, like all the kids had to try and spell it. You know, I was terrible at it. So he saw that I was like way ahead and I was spelling all of them right. So he was like, oh. So he goes over and he walks behind me. I didn't notice this at the time, and so I was just like sitting there, like looking at the page that was inside my desk, going up and writing it. Page inside my desk, writing it.
Nice.
And so he walked over. He put his hand on my desk, and I just slowly look up with this terrified look on my face. And he's like, Aiden, go sit at the back table. And because he had a little table by the cubbies in the back that you had to sit if you got in trouble. And I never sat back there because I never got in trouble. And I was just, no. And so so I got a 0 on that test. And yeah, I got in quite a bit of trouble for that. And I've never cheated on anything else because that traumatized me so badly.
Oh, I'm sad for you. I think the closest thing I did to cheating when I was in elementary school was one day in 3rd grade, I'd forgotten to get my multiplication homework signed for the billionth time. And out of pure desperation to actually get to play with my friends during recess, maybe this is why we didn't get very far on the hole, was because we all were standing on the wall all the time. I forged my mom's signature, and obviously because I was a 3rd grader, it didn't look anything like my mom's signature. And Miss Turnipseed, yes, that was my math teacher's name. Her name was Miss Turnipseed. Like, what?
What?
Even? Like, I'm not kidding, that was her name. I still kind of laugh, but no. Okay, so Miss Turnipseed, I hand her my paper, and she just casually looks at it, and she's like, okay. And then she does like a double take, and she's like, because I was the last one to turn my paper in, because our last name starts with a B. Should I really be giving that information out? No, my last name starts with a Q, guys. Okay, so she looks at the paper, and she just kind of like holds it back, and she's like, And she's like, Rosie, can you come over here? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, Rosie, this doesn't look like your mom's signature. And I remember, okay, there was another kid standing next to me. I don't remember, I'm trying to remember exactly how this came up. But this kid was a bad kid. He got in trouble a lot. And like, my teacher, you know, before she started to like berate me personally for forging my parents' signature, she was like, hey class, just a personal reminder that you should never fake somebody's signature. And the kid standing next to me that was the bad kid was like, you know, he was the epitome at bad. You couldn't get worse than him.
Yeah, I had one of those kids in my class too.
He was like, I would never forge my parents' signature. and like, because I was so tiny, and I was just standing there like shaking. I was like, ah! And so she was like, Rosie, is this your mom's signature? I went too deep. Okay, I'm not gonna turn back now. I'm like, yeah. I just kind of like nod my head because I'm too scared to speak, and she's like, let's go ask the English teacher down the hall if that looks like your parents' signature. And I was like, okay. And so she goes down the hall, and she's like, she doesn't think that looks like your parents' signature either. And she like takes me outside of class, and both teachers are there, and I'm like, it's definitely my parents' signature. Yeah. And they're like, if we call your mom, will she also agree? And I was like, yeah, definitely. And I didn't think she would. I thought my mom was gonna rat me out. And I called my mom. And my mom, who at that point was just like exhausted all the time because we just finished building our house and we were getting all moved in and whatever, and they were like, we think your child forged your signature on your paper. And my mom's like, I definitely signed her paper this morning. And my mom's like, she's like, Rosie wouldn't lie about that kind of thing. And she's convinced that she actually did sign my paper. So I didn't get in trouble. But still to this day, because occasionally we'll talk about how horrible school in Louisiana was, my mom will be like, I can't believe they thought you forged my signature just because my signature was a little messy because I was tired. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm in too deep now, but yeah, I still feel guilty about that.
I remember in third grade, I didn't know that forging signatures was wrong. And so in 3rd grade, our teacher's like homework program was she'd just give us a big packet of like all of our homework at once. And so we just like go through and we'd learn how to do all of it through the week, and we'd have to get it signed. Excuse me, we're doing things in here. Yeah. Hello.
Do you need something?
I'll have to cut that out. Anyway,
Just leave
so
it.
yeah, so we I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so we had to get each piece of homework initialed
Why?
in our homework. I don't know.
That's
in our
so
homework packet.
stupid.
So
Like,
we
if
had
the
yeah,
kid
so we
does
had
it,
to
just
get
let
each
the
of
kid
them
do it.
sent. Yeah. So we had to do that, and I remember one time, I think it was my math homework, I forgot to get it signatured the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because like we had to go and get it checked every day.
Yeah.
So I like perfectly forged her like initials and they looked so perfect, but my mom could tell the difference. So she got everything else signed, she just had forgotten that one thing. I'm like, it's fine, she knows I did it, I'll just do it and nobody will know. And so the next day when I went to go get my stuff signed, she was like, Aiden, why is this one signed? I'm like, you forgot to sign it, so I did. And she's like, Aiden, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, I didn't know that. Please stop yelling at me.
Oh, that brings back other memories. Okay, so when I was in, I think it was 4th grade, we had this thing where you had to like read every day, and then you had to write down how long you had read, how many pages you read, and like what you read was about. Okay, well, see, the thing was, is I read every day for extended periods of time, but do you really think I'm gonna remember do you think I'm gonna remember to like write it down?
Yeah, same. I was one of those kids who just like read constantly, but like I never, like, I don't have a stopwatch on me.
Exactly, So at the end of every week, frantically before school on Monday, I would just make up a bunch of crap. I'd be like, okay, I read for 25 minutes and a page a minute, that makes sense. So I'd write down 25 pages. Okay, but my teachers never commented on it, and then, I'd be like, parents, sign this, and they wouldn't look and sign it, but I'm pretty sure my teachers knew because we had to do this stupid, like, how many words can you read per minute thing, and I could always finish them before the minute was over.
Yeah.
So they had to have known I was faking it, but they never called me out. They just kind of occasionally gave me just approving glances.
Oh, something hilarious is, so I'm like a pretty fast reader, like I'm an okay reader. Like I read a lot and I'm good at reading. I can like comprehend words really well. So when we had to do these tests for reading in like elementary school in 3rd grade, I like seriously panicked. Like I had like panic anxiety, or like test anxiety or something, just for this one time, and so I did absolutely terrible on the test. It was like 2 words a minute. It was terrible. So in 4th grade, I had to sit through this like special ed reading class, and I was like, Sorry for the scream, but yeah.
You just called anybody wearing headphones.
I wanted to die so much.
Gosh, okay. You just remind me of 2 things with like the anxiety thing and then like the special ed whatever. So when I was in 4th grade, I missed a lot of school because I didn't like to go to school, so I would pretend to be sick, and at that point my mom was just too tired to fight me because she had, 4 daughters running around all under the age of 14. Yeah. So I would come back and then they're like, Rosie, we did long division while you were gone. You need to go do special classes with this teacher. And this teacher, who I met somebody that just looks exactly like her like a year ago, and I literally thought they were the same person, and I was like, oh my gosh, Miss, I can't remember her name anymore. They were like, no, that's not my name, and I was like, yeah, okay. So we were doing like the math things, and I was like so unsure of myself because my teachers were like, Rosie, you're awful, you miss so much school. I mean, they didn't say it like that, but in my head I was like, they hate me now. And she I remember though, after a while I knew I'd gotten it, but I just pretended to still not get it because I just liked sitting in there. Which
Sneeze.
Was it a sneeze or a cough? I can't tell. Okay, so I just want to sit in there. And I think she knew, but she just let me keep doing it, and that was nice. Okay, and then the other thing I'm rambling. The other thing you reminded me about with like the anxiety thing was, okay, so back in 6th grade, I just moved back to Louisiana, back to Fort Polk. Boo. No, that's in my face. Okay, so we just moved back, and when I got back, I saw this girl, and I was like, that child I want to be friends with. And typically when I move, I'll like see somebody, and I'll be like, okay, that's where I'm gonna start my friend group. Hopefully they're a decent person. Okay, but I was also very not self-aware as a 6th grader. So when I would talk to her and she was like trying to shoo me away, I just didn't realize. I also didn't know what cuss words are at the time. So I didn't realize that she was purposely trying to cuss as much as possible because she thought I was very like naive to like get me to be like, oh no, cuss words, and go away. I started cussing actually because of that, because I just didn't know they were cuss words. And then I'd come home and my mom would be like, no, that's a bad word. And I was like, okay. But it wasn't until I think I'd known her for a long time and we'd become like actual friends, and I was actual friends with everybody in our group, that I was talking to her about one time, and I was like, yeah, this guy has a crush on me and I'm not sure what to do because I was a stupid 6th grader. And she was like, oh, wow, I'd never noticed before. And I was like, how did you not notice? This has been going on since the beginning of the school year. And she was like, well, at the beginning of the school year, I didn't actually like you.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, wait, no, but there's more. Okay, so I was like, oh, you didn't? She was like, yeah, no, we all thought you were stupid. And that was like when she wasn't trying to be mean, but like my confidence was shattered. I moved to Walla Walla and I was like, I can't make friends ever again.
That's depressing.
It was kind of sad looking back on it, but it's fine. I'm good now. 7th grade was just an awkward year for me.
I'm sure it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're hitting 26 minutes, and this
really?
is the
Longest we've ever gone.
By like
So-
over 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I hope you guys really liked this extended episode. I'll try and put like more visuals in it because it seems that you guys like that. Bye guys, this has been Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah, we forgot to announce the name.
Yeah.
Oops. Well,
Did we do that in the episode that didn't end up happening?
yeah, we did. I was like, I'm dumb and you're dumb. Now I'm dumber.
Oh, well, if you guys didn't already know, we picked a name. It's Dumb and Dumber. Okay. Sounds good. Bye guys.